Hi, I'm Krystie, and this is Connected in the Den, a chill-out zone for conscious expansion, a place to connect, learn, and expand, and help each other live a more inspired life. Welcome, soul family. I hope you feel connected in the den.
This is going to be a really cool episode. If you've ever been curious about what a soul reading looks like with me, what a psychic or mediumship reading looks like with me, I'm really excited to share that I'm going to be sharing little clips of the sessions that I have with my clients with their permission, of course. But I thought it might be cool to share what these experiences look like, A, to sort of silence some of the skeptics. B, I know so many are just genuinely curious just what a reading actually looks like. But also just to show what you can get from having a energy session with someone. And I don't just mean a reading. It could also mean a Reiki session, energy healing session. There actually can be some really helpful tools that can help aid the healing process, just our evolution. When you do work with energy workers, a reputable and ethical energy worker is really important. So do your research. And I think that's also why I wanted to share what my session looks like, because if it resonates with you, if you feel aligned with it and you feel called, I'm happy to hold space for you. So I'm very grateful to my clients who have given me the okay to share some little clips, because they are really special. And I think there is a lot of this sort of energy work, spiritual work that is kept in secret. And I know that there is honoring some of the traditions and lineage with that. But I also believe that if we are more open, there is also sort of a competitive energy within the psychic, spiritual wellness realm. And I just think that's so silly, because we all have really beautiful gifts and qualities to offer each other. And when we all connect and share, that's when the real expansion can actually happen. So it's just, I guess, helping to open up the lens into what this realm of connection looks like. So my readings are typically a mixture of mediumship as well as psychic reading. Mediumship is connecting with those who have transitioned, our loved ones who have transitioned. Psychic information is tapping into the energy field, the energy body of my clients, of my sitters. And so my readings tend to be a combination of both. I also use oracle cards to help sort of guide the conversation and act as a springboard for the information that is shown to me or presented to me, so that I can it's easier for me to, I guess, receive some clarity when I'm working with oracle cards with what is being presented to me. And I do think that eventually I will not really use the oracle cards. I'm already using them less and less. Like I've only been reading publicly within this last year. So I've even noticed a significant shift. Psychics and mediums are constantly developing. It's basically all these different little languages that we're trying to understand. It's language from spirit, and each spirit shows up differently and speaks differently to us. And it's sort of trying to create one language out of thousands of little different languages, right? So it's constantly going to be blossoming for different psychics and mediums. But I can see how it has shifted and grown for me within the last year. So yeah, some psychics work with divination tools, some don't. For me, it is one that I have asked to work with spirit. So it really all depends on the relationship that your reader has with their spirit team, with their spirit guides. Also, full transparency, this session and future sessions will be edited for timing. So there tends to be also quite significant pauses in between information that is received and delivered for my clients. And so I've edited those pauses down because there would just be so much dead air time in the podcast episode. So I wanted to have full disclosure with that. Personal information has been edited out. I've just sort of gathered up some of the most clips that held some pretty strong significance, strong emotional connection, and that were just, I felt really lovely and special to share. So yeah, I'm very excited to start to share some of these different sessions. They'll be sprinkled throughout the podcast episodes because I still want to hold space for really cool conversations and also just insights, guidance, things that I like to share. So this, you've sort of seen over the year, which by the way, it's a year on November 11th for this podcast for Connected in the Den. So thank you so much for those that have been loyal listeners the whole way. Welcome to all the new listeners as well. But this is a very new project, and I am a very inexperienced podcaster, but I've learned so much along the way. It's been really cool to develop these skills, I guess, that go along with podcasting and just get a deeper glimpse into what all goes behind, because let me tell you, it is not easy. That is why these episodes are not super consistent and there isn't so many of them. For me, it's just kind of more when inspiration strikes and when I feel called to share. So I appreciate so much the support that has been coming through over the last year. And I'm just so excited to see how Connected in the Den starts to expand. Let's dive into this super touching soul reading with one of my beautiful clients here on Connected in the Den. So I was also shown Ireland and Italy. Those resonate with you?
Yep. Someone who has passed that.
Like a descendant of that.
Yeah. Like there's like, we have
quite a bit of history there.
Yeah.
More on the Irish side or more on the Italian side, or both? It's both, isn't it? Because I was shown a clover.
I think it has to do with just the Irish
heritage. I was also, this is going to sound so weird. I was also shown thick red pasta sauce, like thick red, like a hearty sauce with pasta. So it felt like something more of like either it's you that cooks this or someone that passed that cooks this, or it's like a family thing that's passed down.
I cook a lot of pasta.
Okay. And then is there something with suitcases? Are you planning a move or planning a trip?
A move.
A move. Okay, so a few names also came forward. Now, keep in mind that these might not also be names from people who have passed. It could be names from people who are living that might not be in your realm right now, but could be entering in. So just keep them in mind as well. So George, and Pat came through.
Yeah. Yeah. You said John, George,
and Pat, like a Patrick. So if that's someone that okay, I'm going to let you John is someone who's transitioned, and George as well.
No, not yet.
Not yet. This is someone that is connected to John. Okay.
Yeah.
This person's not doing well.
No.
Is this something connected to the lungs or the heart, like the chest?
Yeah.
And don't hold your tears back, okay? Like let everything out.
Okay.
Pat is not someone that you know. It could be someone that you may not know of, but it definitely feels connected to you, clearly to the Irish side, Patrick. So maybe ask around. When I'm shown spirit, they show up to me on the right side, but behind your energy. And so this Patrick feels quite far back, but connected to you still. Okay.
Okay.
And who's the musician? I was shown a whole collection of instruments.
Oh.
Or someone that could just have a love of festivals or concerts, because I was shown that as well. You don't play anything?
There's one musician in my family.
Okay. Guitar?
No.
Is it a string instrument?
No.
I'm seeing something with strings.
Okay.
You don't play anything?
I do. I play the piano.
Is there someone that you were connected with who's passed who played the guitar?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, give it some thought. It was shown very, very clearly to me. Now, I don't know if are you not playing your instrument right? Are you not in that right now?
No.
Okay. It could just be shown to me as something that needs to be nurtured or shown some attention again, like you getting into your music.
Okay.
As an outlet or something.
Okay.
Also the name Diane.
Okay.
Is this someone living or transitioned?
Diana.
Diana.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that. Living or transitioned?
Living.
Family member?
Not blood related, no.
And is there a Crystal or a Kimberly or Kim?
There's only one Kim that I know of, but she's not blood related.
Okay, but it's still someone that holds. It's still someone that holds a strong connection to you. Kimberly.
I've never met them. Like I know who they are.
Okay, but they're connected to your family, Kimberly and Diana, but not by blood.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the friction? Like, or separation or a severed tie or something?
Between these two people?
Yeah.
Diana is my ex-fiance's sister.
Okay. If it's something that's past, it's things that are some things that's still sort of left unresolved or something that is still taking up some space in your mind or in your energetic field.
Okay.
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 What is the connection with John?
That's my uncle, my great uncle. Oh.
So he's the strongest energy that's here right now. And he's the person showing me the things in your life current. Was there a concert or a festival or something with music that had to do with him? A song that was he liked to hear or...
So, yeah, go ahead.
Because he's showing me music. So I don't know if there's...
So after his passing,
I
was in the kitchen and I was playing
a song that go ahead.
Folklore Portuguese music. And I had his photo and I was dancing and I closed my eyes as if I was dancing with him.
Okay. So, were you cooking at the time?
I was.
So he was there for that. He's very aware that you were doing that. And this song, is it from his lineage or he?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it feels like whenever, I don't know if you've been playing this often or whenever it's on, he hears it. He's very connected to it when he hears it. And I know you've been doing your intuitive work, but he is asking that you turn your intuitive dial up because he's trying to connect with you more. There seems to be some noise in your mind, some mental chatter. And that's, if you can work through that, he will be able to come through for you more often, more clearly, and help to sort of be one of your bridges to spirit. to others that have transitioned, to your own guides, to your own ancestors. So I was shown the colors red and green. Intuitively, I take these as actually the areas in your body where there's some blockages. So red is the root chakra.
Okay.
And green is the heart. But when I was tapping into the green, that sort of took me on a spiral of a heavy heart, cloudy lungs. And that's where I was connecting to the energy of John as well. There was some issues breathing. Was David breathing too? Or was he? Yeah. Was there issues or some sort of complications in the hospital or some sort of, what is the, it seemed like there's chaos or something with the hospital or people in the hospital or.
Everything just happened so fast.
Okay. So that's maybe what he's showing me. It just seems like it's like a whirlwind of things that's going on.
Yeah.
And now what is the connection with George?
George is a cousin who's still living, and he was just given some diagnosis around his heart.
Who wears glasses?
Who wears glasses?
Or wore glasses, yeah.
A lot of people in my family.
Okay. Does George wear glasses?
He does.
Okay. Is there any significance to the color blue? Is it something that he wears a lot or he likes or you like?
I like the color blue. I never really paid attention with George in the color blue.
Okay.
He's always wearing blue jeans.
Okay. Maybe just keep that. Is there something with plaid?
Oh yeah. He wears plaid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does George live far from you?
Not really.
Or something that there's a distance with George. So is that the connection with you and him or
Yeah, we're not that close.
Okay. Does he have limited family around him or like a small number of family around him?
Yeah.
I'm getting this feeling like he's feeling a little lonely right now. Like I'm being shown that he's feeling a little lonely. So I don't know if you are able to connect with him, but John is showing me George. So it feels like some love or some attention needs to be shown there to him, some support.
That makes sense.
Has he been given a timeline to he's been given a time? Because I'm showing is it soon?
They said that his heart could stop at any time.
So I don't like to read death. So
I know.
But I am really seeing that he's needing to be connected to you. Like you should reach out to him, speak to the people that are around him or caring for him. Cousins, right? It's all
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the our psychic stuff next. Okay, so the cards that were pulled, I've got between worlds.
Okay.
Come to the edge, loyal heart, round and round, and blessed. Okay.
Okay.
So between worlds, what I'm feeling is that, so this is going to be now psychic information that's connected to you or those that you're in connection or community with. Okay. So it's feeling like you got one foot in one door and one foot out the other. I need to ask what practices you use to calm your energy.
I meditate.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to healing frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of Chris Corsini's workshops.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of like your intuition, your grounding workshop I just did.
Okay, so why am I feeling energy of stuck in the mud on your spiritual path or something, or like I'm not trusting of something?
I'm not trusting of myself.
Okay. So I'm feeling this, like you need to let go of the habit of making assumptions. Sort of feels like you sometimes jump to the conclusion or with the conclusion that you form in your mind without allowing spirit to just let things show up for you. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Which is when I was seeing these instruments. And so that's why I asked if you've been playing
the piano, because I was feeling that you need to tap into some of your creative energy so that you can sort of cultivate more curiosity, okay, with how you look at things, and it'll help you to trust the process of change, because it feels like there's also like a lack of trust with way things shift in your life.
Yeah.
And to really embrace uncertainty, as difficult as that is. Kind of step into the unknowing, because that is where we do our best growth, is when we're in a place that we have no clue what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, like, at all. We think, right? But we don't. So you're really being called right now to embrace the uncertainty in your life. I see that when I'm shown this dial of your intuition, is like, if you can turn that up, you're going to be much more trusting of being in the place of certainty. Okay. It also feels like you've really planted seeds, like you've really been, things are really about to start to blossom right now, but they aren't going to look like what you thought they're going to look like. Okay. Don't take that in a bad way. It's just not going to look like, this is where I was, this habit of making assumptions that needs, like, allow things to show up the way that they're intended to show up for you.
Okay.
And then I was also shown a little version of you. So
I'm very in tune with little Ashley.
okay. So because what I wrote was connect with little Ash. What do they need to hear? What do they need to feel? And what can you tell them right now? This is not stuff you have to answer now. This is reflective stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's been some time since you've connected with little Ash, but that was shown pretty clear to me. Okay.
Yeah.
I was also shown that there's a connection in your life that either needs some fresh air for the sails, or it needs to be, you need to take a rest from it. Okay.
Okay.
It feels more like the fresh air thing. And then you've shown again that things are not always going to go according to plan, to trust what spirit has in store for you. So then that led me into pulling Come to the Edge. So Come to the Edge is tapping into your courage, your bravery, so that you can take the leap, so that you can take the jump. Okay. I also was shown like your body. So it's tapping into the cues of your body. And if something is not a full body yes, it's a no. So really be like thinking that when it comes time to make a choice, because like I said, we don't have any control of our life, but we have free will. So it's tapping into the cues of your body to be making the best choices for you on the path. Okay.
Okay.
And then facing the unknown is the only choice that we have. So just kind of, again, going back to embracing that uncertainty. It's okay to be afraid, and your fear is going to soften. Okay. And then I was asked, I guess on your behalf, who or what makes you feel comfortable to show up as your most authentic self? So this could be something that you really should reflect on. I feel that you really do need to reflect on this, like who and what, like what are the influences in your life that really make you show up as your fullest self. Okay. And then I was shown the throat again. So speak up, voice what you need, and state who you are. So it's like, I don't know if you've been holding back.
It makes sense.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense. Everything you're saying is so aligned to yeah.
What's up with the romantic connection? That's a current thing that's happening. You are in a relationship right now?
I'm not. I went out on a date, like a second date. I've been dating casually.
When was the second date? Last night? 2 nights ago? Recent? With
Friday.
Because I'm being shown roses. That's usually for romance for me. Something clicked or something didn't click. I'm seeing a seat belt going. This is in romance. So did something
clicked?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump ahead. Well, hang on. Maybe I'll go back to that then. I'm just going to circle that. Okay. So then I was also shown going back to those like seeds and the planting of seeds and letting things take shape, I would like you to try to focus on the essence, the energy of the thing that you're trying to call into your life, not in the actual way it looks. Try to tap into the energy of the thing. Okay. It's going to help you to work through that expectation thing and the jumping to assumptions. If you can focus on just the energy of the thing, how does that thing that you're trying to call in feel for you? How does it look for you? Not the thing you want, but what it's going to do for your life. I was shown some water as well. So I'm taking that as drinking more water.
Okay.
Bathing in water and seeing you like floating, like trust that like you're not going to be lost at sea. I don't know if there's do you float? Have you been in the float tanks before?
I take a lot of hot Epsom salt baths, and I was actually just talking about like a floating place that we have in Toronto here.
Yeah, go for it. I would very much do that, because that was a very clear image of you floating. It feels like something that could be incorporated as like a regular healing, a place for you to shed, basically. Okay. Okay. So then the next card was Loyal Heart. And so that is fidelity, devotion, loyalty are all going to be shown to you very soon, if they're not already being shown to you. Okay. Where does the dishonesty lie in your romantic relationships that have happened in the past?
Me not speaking up for myself and speaking my truth, and that throat chakra being blocked.
Okay. So it's also then an exploration of yourself and tapping into the loyalty to yourself and tapping into the loyalty of how you are shaping your life, the loyalty of your desires, the loyalty of your intentions, like really kind of connect with that energy and show some gratitude to that energy, and also show some gratitude to the people who are loyal in your life. Like, how can you express to them more than you have been the gratitude that you have for them? So that's another kind of reflective thing. Okay. And then where are you being overly stubborn in your life? Are there areas that you are being overly stubborn?
Yeah.
Because I was also shown like a knife and a shield. So that's either like you blocking things or needing to block things, but also some things that need to be kind of cut. Like it's like a slice and dice kind of motion that I was seeing. So it's like either you continue to sort of like repeat old patterns and need to constantly be slicing and dicing, or you need to be blocking some things, or you're blocking yourself from something. Something is being blocked. So it just feels like a stubborn energy, resistance to something. Okay.
Okay.
And so I asked, like, has someone betrayed you?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take that as you betraying yourself by not speaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, it's like, there's still some, and perhaps this is where the floating thing is going to come into hand, because it just feels like there's some, I'm seeing like deadly debris, like dead, maybe you need to, I don't know if you need to rake your lawn, but there's like dead leaves, dead stuff that needs to be taken care of, eliminated. And so maybe that's also why I'm seeing the blue with the throat. So I would even just like sing around your house, like singing helps to always open up the throat. So just because the next card was round and around. So that's a lesson that hasn't fully integrated, but it's about to. And it's like breaking patterns and shifting perspectives, sort of a habit of returning back to the same lessons, back to the same sort of scenarios or situations. And so if that's something you did in the last relationship, then where you didn't speak up, and I had mentioned in the come to the edge card, speak up, state what you need, voice who you are. That's something that I invite you to really focus on as you're exploring this new connection. Okay. Round and around is, again, So I got the image of something or someone having its claws in you and sort of like pulling you back. So I just don't know if that is a person, if it is an old belief pattern or system, but there's something that has a hold of you on an energetic level, okay, that needs to be released.
Yeah.
And I was getting this energy of like feeling like sometimes you're going backwards when you're trying to go forwards, but remember that that's okay, because like we don't exist in a linear timeline. We exist and we're cyclical in nature as humans, right? So we are constantly brought back to situations and scenarios sometimes because we have to re-look at the lesson from a new lens, because you went through a lesson at one time, you've made some progress, you're faced with the lesson again, but the progress that you had in between gave you different tools to go through that lesson again. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So yeah, looking at something with fresh eyes, but something still has its grip. It feels more like a fear, to be honest, and like stale energy. That's why I'm seeing those dead leaves, right? Like it's just stale decay, like, and we're still in Scorpio season, right? So there's still like some death stuff that needs to be eliminated so that you can step into the winter, into the spring with like fresh lenses. Okay.
Yeah.
And is there someone that you kind of go back, someone who presents themselves in your life in like a pattern, like they show up, then they kind of leave. They show up and
Yeah.
and they're challenging to your soul? Is this someone that tends to challenge you?
Yeah.
So the question, is this person active in your life right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So the question that I was told is, how can you look at the situation differently to tap into who supports you and to make note of who sabotages you?
Okay.
And that this is definitely a time to be holding others and yourself accountable. And I definitely, if it really feels like this floating thing is going to help you kind of work through some of these reoccurring or repeating things. Because I'm really seeing blue around this round and around card.
Okay.
So yeah, I am taking that as this, like speaking, but also cleansing energy. You can also wear more blue as well, as really helps to kind of move some of the energy through that part of your body.
Okay.
You have to work on the heart too, though, because the energy from the throat can't move if the heart's blocked. So, because that's where I'm seeing the cloudy lungs again, and lungs is grief, like lung energy, heavy lung energy is grief. So be patient with yourself as you work through any sort of grieving energy, but make sure that you're finding the right people, places, like the right support stuff for you with that.
Okay.
Yeah. It definitely just feels like some things need to be moved because there's too much that's just being stored inside.
Yeah, lots going on right now.
Okay.
And I'm scared of the uncertainty, and I think I need, like, hearing what you're saying of finding my support, who supports me, those places, those people. I'm stubborn. Like, I want to know what's going to happen in the future because I'm scared. And
usually fear comes from fear comes from stuff from the past.
Yeah.
Right? Because it comes from trauma, and we perceive trauma in different ways each time, right? But it tends to go back to whatever has happened to us early on in our life. And then we just sort of associate the same things with that past thing, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like a pretty toxic pattern to keep having to repeat. So definitely, do you walk?
I do.
Have you been walking?
Every day at lunch.
Can you switch up your path?
Yes, I can. That resonates.
Have you been doing the same route or something, or the same? Yeah.
Yeah. The same route that I used to take with my ex-fiance.
Okay. Yeah. So then definitely switch up that route, because it's like things are okay. So this would make sense then with the grip thing that I'm seeing that's sort of pulling you back. So, because you're not going to be able to move forward if you don't let go of that stuff. And it feels whatever's happening over here, whatever the new thing is with the click, the thing that's clicking, that's not going to be able to move forward if you don't work on this stuff. And this thing, this click, like feels like this click clicks more with you than you click with it right now. I don't know if that resonates with you, but the energy from this other person feels stronger towards you than you have towards the other person.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad thing or a good thing. That's just what I'm tapping into. But that could be because of some resistance on your part or just the not letting go.
Yeah.
But this person has a lot of love to give and feels very safe and feels very light and feels very fun and creative. It just feels like this connection is going to really give you the support that you've been looking for, that you've been lacking. So going back to that knife thing, like it's more a machete that I'm seeing. So like you need to go through the fields and really cut back the bush to clear the path for yourself. Okay. Okay, so I want to go to this blessed card because that was the last card and it's such a beautiful imagery and I just felt really nice. So this is gifts from spirit.
Okay.
Tapped into. So, and that's where I was tapping into the walks. The walks came in under this card. So, there is a deepening of intimacy in a new partnership that's forming is what I saw. So I'm laughing because we literally been talking about this in click. So now is definitely a time to deepen your connection with spirit so that you can deepen your connection with the living, with people. But it's like,
how do I do that?
Make some solid time to connect with your and try not to be too literal with the visuals of the people that you're trying to connect to when you're trying to connect to spirit. It's not necessarily just the people who have passed. It's your angels, your guides, like however you feel or see your spirit team to look, connect to them, call them in the morning, thank them for being around you. Talk to them on your walks. They're the ones that showed me you walking. So I would definitely speak more with them on the walks. Maybe change the music that you listen to. Do you listen to something when you're walking?
Yeah.
Change the music.
Okay.
What do you listen to what's the melancholy? What's the chills, those slow music that I hear? Is that when you walk? Can you switch that to something that's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more peppy, a little bit more something that, like, if you think about your childhood and music that excited you as a kid, is there songs and music that comes to your mind right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I invite you to create a playlist that's music from your childhood, from your teen years, that's uplifting and fun. Nothing that's going to trigger any like old sad memories or anything like that. Only good, positive stuff.
Okay.
Because music is going to be a very strong tool for you to connect to spirit. I really would love for you to get your fingers back on the keys I'm seeing. So like, and it doesn't have to be for long periods of time. It could be like 10 minutes. Do you still have is there a piano around you or keyboard or something?
This new person has a keyboard.
Okay. Have you played around this person?
No, not yet.
Does the person know you play?
Yes.
Okay. So.
And I play by ear. I just listen to vibrations and it feels good. And I just go.
I feel like maybe a date with this person where music is the center sort of thing. You take in a concert or you listen to music together or has music been a heavy topic of discussion with you guys?
We've talked about like having a night in where we listen to music and talk and, over food and all that. And when she told me she had a keyboard, I got really excited.
I don't know if this is off topic or not, but is someone Asian that you're close to?
I used to be very someone I tried to get in touch with again after years, but I can't find them.
Okay. A woman?
Yeah. Weird. I just dreamt about her last night.
Okay. Can you think outside the box with connecting with this person? The dream that you had of this person, what was the energy, the theme, would you say?
That she missed me. Like
Okay.
it was nice to reconnect.
And did you try to reach out over Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there a connection with this person with work? That's someone, a common, there's a mutual friend or something, or a mutual connection between the two of you?
Not currently.
Okay, past there was?
We had mutual connection.
It feels like if you can go through the list of those connections, something that past connected you to will be able to help you connect to this person. But this person, have they recently lost someone?
The last time I spoke to them, which was like years ago, it was under like they had lost their dad.
Okay. That was the last time you spoke to the person. They were going through loss.
Mm-hmm.
So that person is the person showing me her. It very much feels like this person is either in crisis, going through a loss, something is going on in this person's life, and they're needing some support.
Okay.
So, sorry, I know I went off the rails there, but
that's okay.
This is why I try to do the medium stuff at the start, because otherwise, we try to come through, because especially it tends to happen towards the last 15, 20 minutes of the session, because they're like, wait, you know?
Yeah.
So just keep that in your mind.
Okay.
And sort of like in your path to focus on.
Okay.
Back to the blessed card now. So music on the walks. Changing the music is going to help you connect to spirit, to help you strengthen the communication with spirit.
Okay.
Because I was shown like a pot of simmering water. So it feels like your pot has been boiling, like almost boiling over, but now the water's starting to simmer. Okay. So this is why at the start I asked what the tools were that you use to really, because it's like more of calling into this energy.
Yeah.
To keep yourself really centered so that you can keep the pot to a simmer so it won't boil over again.
So continue to do my Reiki then.
Continue to do all the things you've been doing.
Because
I literally, right after that, I literally wrote, celebrate your work. Like, be humble, show gratitude. I also made note of a gratitude journal. I don't know if that's something that you have or use or...
haven't used it in a while, but I have one.
Time to bring it out.
All right.
Tapping into the gratitude is also going to help to shift your perspective. And that's what's needed right now. Okay.
Okay.
And then I was shown, this is like divine timing to close out this session. Be who you need to be. You can no longer do what you did. Okay. What is required for you right now is complete surrender.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's really like, reflect on this. It's really changing up old patterns. It's really eliminating dead stuff. You have to, and it's like, you have to. That's where I'm seeing the shield, like blocking yourself.
Yep.
So you have to make these changes, or the seeds that you've planted are not going to blossom fully. They're going to blossom with defects. They're going to blossom half-assed. You're going to see one bloom, and then you won't see something bloom. Like if you want to you've planted the seeds, but you have to really keep the environment fertile. You have to really be nourishing the things you've planted in all the ways. But if you keep feeding the seeds, the shit that the seeds don't want, it's not going to blossom the way you would like to see them blossom. Okay. Is there anything else that you feel like you need some clarity on or guidance on?
The one person I thought, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, the one person I thought he was going to come through didn't, but that's okay. My Uncle John came through, and that means a lot. Like the whole dancing in the kitchen with him and holding that card of him, and I felt he was there. I just feel again, I'm holding myself back from these changes that I know are supposed to be happening, and I'm scared, and I'm doing my best, and the things that you've told me now, it's like now I can go forward with them and maybe do better.
Yeah, I mean, what I tend to feel from my readings is that it's everyone's that I've connected with is it's like we're connected for a reason. You're guided to me for a reason. And why I've noticed this kind of pattern with my readings where it's a combination of mediumship and psychic is that spirit comes through to be able to show me the things that are showing up for my clients in their lives and trying to help. It's like, if your intuition's not tuned, if your dial's not tuned in, they're going to come through me. I'm the vessel to help. These are the things that they're trying to tell you. These are all these things. Typically the psychic information is guidance for my clients. And it's all things that they try to tell you. I'm not telling you anything new. I'm reading your energy, right? So I'm reading the information from you and from them. And it's exactly what you said, tools that are going to help you move forward and evolve and expand and open up the next chapters. It's like these books are just sort of like waiting to open, but you've got to finish the other chapters first. And that was the very first card that was pulled, was Between Worlds, right? So you have to finish those chapters, finish those books so that the new ones you can spend your attention and your love on.
Okay. And if I wanted to like better my intuition, like I've taken your intuition workshop and I know you do coaching. I've actually been really called to that with you. Like you can help me.
Absolutely. Yes. Whenever you're ready for that, just
beautiful.
Don't hesitate to reach out. Take your time. When you feel it's right, then we can connect and we can work on your intuitive journey, of course. And then what are the books that you're reading right now? Are there books that you're reading right now?
I just started one. It's called The Big Questions of Life. It's a philosophy book.
Is there another book that you've been looking at that you haven't ordered?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe order it.
Okay. Can I ask you one last thing?
Yeah.
When I speak to my spirit, when I speak to my loved ones who have crossed over, do they listen? Like, can they hear?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That is why all this information, like everything I'm saying, the music and the cooking, that's what it was. The cooking that was happening, the music that was happening when you were dancing in the kitchen, the cooking that, like, these are all I'm shown these things because they're there for that. They're aware of these things. Spirit is constantly around us, waiting to talk to us. We're the ones that quiet out the messages that try to come through for them because we don't trust. There's too much going on in our minds. Our houses are messy. Our works, like you can't have clutter around the house. You can't have clutter in the car, clutter in the workspace. Like you have to basically think of yourself as a vessel and how can you really nurture the vessel for communication to come through? But they're always around. Always around. Whenever you call them on, whenever you're thinking of them, whenever they randomly pop into your mind, that is them trying to connect with you.
Okay.
But yes, they're always around. They're always waiting to speak to us. And if you want to strengthen the connection, you have to ask for it. You have to call them in. They can't just show up like, like you have to feel safe. You have to feel like if they sense any sort of fear from you, they won't come close. So you have to be completely open, completely calm so that you can hear them and they will communicate with you very subtly. It'll be very subtle whispers, words, food, smells. It'll happen really subtle. It'll happen really quick. So that's why we're always asked to slow down.
Yeah.
Get grounded so we can connect with all that information because all they're trying to do is help us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think I'm just scared that they're going to like come and scare the like living daylights out of me.
They can't. They literally can't. Like,
yeah.
All this like talks with negative spirits and entities and all that stuff. Yes, they exist, but they cannot touch you, interact with you, anything unless you call it in. So if you're thinking about it, and you're worried about it, they'll feel that and they'll be like, all right, I'm going to come closer then, because you're feeding that belief. So it's like, you have to just, I always ask, like, for any sort of spirit energy, I always bless my readings and stuff. It's like only of light and only of God's energy, only of love, only for the greater good of myself and those involved. It's only of the highest divine energy.
Okay.
There is a dark side to it. That the truth is that does exist. It's just, you don't want to feed that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate it.
They're very playful. Like, spirit is very playful and very, any ailments, injury, anything that was affecting them or inflicting them with anything here doesn't affect them where they are. Like, they are fully healthy. They are fully healed. It's the light of the soul that I see, and they'll show themselves characteristics that you will identify them with, but that's not what they actually are. Like, once we leave this body, I don't show up as Krystie in the spirit world, right? I show up as a light being in whatever form I'm taking place there, but they'll show me identifiers so that you can confirm, yes, that's John, yes, that's George, yes, that's so-and-so. They show me things so that you can confirm that that's what that is or who that is.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Like, I read your package and I wrote all the questions and I left it on my nightstand. I did the grounding workshop before this. Amazing. And everything you gave me answered all my questions. Perfect. So I know there's spirit around me. I know I have my team of light. I always feel protected. I know I could be doing better, and I needed some guidance because I know I've been self-sabotaging. Yeah. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful to you. A little starstruck because you are just like this beautiful soul. But yeah, I am. Thank you so much.
It's so great to connect with you, Ash. I'm so grateful that we've connected, and I hope that we'll maintain our connection. Keep doing the work that you're doing. Again, like I said, celebrate your work. Like, take some time to celebrate the stuff that you've been doing. Once you celebrate that, when you shift the frequency into that stuff, universe is going to keep giving you more things to celebrate.
Can I share something with you real quick?
Yeah.
I treated myself this past week. I took myself out to a movie. Good. And when I was coming home, I needed oatmeal. And something said, go into this Loblaws and go get the oatmeal. This oatmeal is usually like $8. Yeah. I went in and I don't question things. It came up as 94 cents. I ended up with like 6 of them. And I'm like, I'm going back in. And I just started laughing because I was like, I remember your workshop of just simple downloads that we get. And I was like, this is a perfect example of, if I hadn't gone to that movie, if I hadn't taken this route, I wouldn't have gotten that download, and I paid attention to it. And now I have oatmeal to last me because it's gluten-free oatmeal. So it's like this special kind of brand and all expensive, 94 cents. And I'm like, wow. Like, and because of your workshop, I was just able to embrace it and thank my spirit, thank the universe. It was just so beautiful. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Have a good rest of your day. And we'll be in touch.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.
How beautiful was that session? I really hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed connecting with them. And I really hope that this episode helped to shift a perspective or just confirm information, validate information for yourself listening. I thoroughly enjoy holding space and connecting with these soul reading sessions in my energy work sessions. It's definitely an honor and a privilege to be guided and connected to you all, and to hold space and stand in this vessel as someone that can help be a vessel to the spirit world. I really enjoy teaching and guiding and educating. So if you have any questions about any of my energy services, feel free to visit my website, thewanderinglioness.com, send me an email, info@thewanderinglioness.com, or you can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok @thewanderinglioness. Thanks so much for listening, my friends. I really hope you enjoyed this episode and would love to connect deeper with you on this and other episodes of Connected in the Den. If you can, take a few minutes to leave me your feedback and rate this show. it would mean the world. Feedback from you really helps me to understand my community, helps me to improve as a host, and also helps the show to become more visible in podcast directories. So let me know your favorite moments or what other topics I could discuss. I'm so blessed and grateful to have you here, and I'm sending you so much love and massive virtual hugs. We have a lot to explore, and I look forward to sharing our next chat here on Connected in the Den.